In this video, we'll show you how to change the lower control arm on your Ford F-150. You can find it on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Before lifting your vehicle, it is necessary to measure the distance between the center of your wheel and the wheel arch. This will allow you to achieve an optimal tightening of the parts in their initial position. For safety reasons, we strongly suggest watching our video on how to jack your Ford F-150 safely. You need to support the lower control arm with a jack to make it easier to unscrew the sway bar end link and the strut foot. The components to be removed are very often seized up, so don't hesitate to brush and to use penetrating oil to make removal easier. Using a ratchet and an 18mm socket, unscrew the lower retaining nut on the link. Hold the link using an 18mm wrench. Brush the two strut foot nuts, then spray them with penetrating oil. Then unscrew them using a ratchet and an 18mm socket. Remove the jack. Brush off the nut of the lower control arm ball joint and spray it with penetrating oil. Using a 21mm wrench, loosen the lower control arm ball joint nut and unscrew it a few threads. Use a ratchet and a 6mm Allen socket to keep the ball joint from rotating. Then, hit the wheel knuckle with the hammer to disengage the ball joint. You can also use a crowbar to help you. Finish unscrewing the nut. This truck is equipped with alignment camber bolts so that you can adjust the alignment of your vehicle. Using a marker, trace a line between the alignment camber bolt and the frame, which will allow you to get as close as possible to the initial wheel alignment setting when reassembling. In any case, a wheel alignment check will have to be carried out by a professional soon after having performed this operation. Brush and spray the two nuts with penetrating oil to facilitate unscrewing, which may be difficult. Unlock the holding nuts using a breaker bar and a 27mm socket. Then, using a ratchet and a 27mm socket, unscrew the alignment camber bolt holding nut. Block the rotation of the holding nut with a 21mm wrench. Finish unscrewing by hand. Repeat the operation on the other camber bolt. You can now remove the two alignment camber bolts. You can use a pin punch and a hammer to help you remove them. You can now remove the control arm by pulling it towards you and moving it back and forth. Lift it off using a small crowbar as a lever. Press the wheel knuckle to create the space needed to remove the lower control arm. Brush and grease the control arm area to facilitate its installation. Using a wire brush, scrub the knuckle of the wheel knuckle. Then apply silicone grease to the flat part that will be in contact with the lower control arm ball joint sleeve. Do not grease the inside of the cone. You can order the lower control arms used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Take the new control arm. Unscrew the ball joint retaining nut. Depending on the condition of the camber bolts, you can apply copper grease to extend the bushing's lifespan. For great content, our best price, and fast shipping, download the CarParts.com app now. Install the control arm. Reinsert the ball joint. Then screw it back in. While inserting the strut foot, insert the link into the lower control arm. Take the camber bolts. Reinsert the two alignment camber bolts. Then roughly screw the retaining nuts back on. Use the marking drawn with a marker and put the camber bolts back in place. Lift the lower control arm with the jack until the original measurement between the center of the wheel and the wheel arch is reached. Then tighten them until it makes contact with the ratchet. Finish tightening the camber bolts with a torque wrench. Reposition the jack under the brake disc. Screw the strut foot nuts back on until they make contact. Using a ratchet and an 18mm socket and an 18mm wrench to prevent the bolt from rotating. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Screw the nut of the lower ball joint of the sway bar end link back on. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Screw the nut of the lower control arm ball joint back on. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Take the cotter pin and fit it into the castle nut. Use a screwdriver to bend the cotter pin. Remove the jack. Screw the grease fitting onto the top of the ball joint by hand at first, then using an 8mm wrench to lock it in place. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. Put your truck back on the ground before properly fixing the wheels in place. Operation complete.
Quality parts, priced right, CarParts.com.